The time for talk is now.
We are live.
The whiskey's supposed to drown the memory.
Jason Aldean with us today.
You want to play that?
I mean, I guess we
I think we might get sued. I think we could get sued. We'll have to talk while it plays so that it's like, background
How do you
noise.
screw it? Can I screw it up?
I don't think Aldean is big enough for this show yet.
I want to screw and chop.
Aldean?
No, yeah. I thought you said
Aldean is not on
Al Green.
Jeremy Mahone's level.
No.
Nor Drew Ratai checks.
Cheek.
Rat-a-tat-tat check.
Yeah.
How y'all like the Irish coffee?
I like
Coming in hot, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm awake now. I think we might be able to do this.
Hey, today's Irish coffee break brought to you by Hallerhead Whiskey.
I'll keep this right here.
Get that monkey spirit in you.
Since there's only three of us,
I don't know if that's actually the
there's
tagline.
a
Virgin
virgin Irish coffee
I don't know
at the table.
Get that? Yeah, I'm not pounding away the monkey spirit today.
Come on, man. It's like not even 10 o'clock.
I'm less than a few hours out of horrible. I can only assume was food poisoning. But I feel like a rough night on the Montrose. My mouth and butt can take no more. I am just done.
Who's after Rich's spot? Who would poison Rich like that?
There's a lot of people who would poison me. I mean,
probably
to be fair.
that gay hooker he forgot to pay.
But I don't necessarily know if they want this spot. I don't know if you really want this spot, especially after. Have you guys ridden electric cars?
Oh, you fuckers.
Oh man. Okay, so we're kind of running behind on time. Or we got like a lot of ground to cover. Are we going
Right.
straight into?
We're
to
going
Cali?
straight into.
We're just going to kind of bounce around Cali, New Orleans, and the upcoming show.
We're going
What are we
straight to
covering
my
today?
anger for electric cars
I'm right there with
and
you.
what the terrible idea.
I am proud to be affiliated with the oil and gas industry. I'll do my part to make sure that we don't ever have to
Could
go
you
electric.
believe that one of us, I'm not going to say who, one of us would rent an electric car
Yeah, it wasn't me
It
either.
was
Rich.
Diego, and then he didn't
for
even
a,
come.
for a 4
Diego
hour
wasn't there, unfortunately.
for
We
a
missed it.
4-hour
I bet-
road trip,
I bet
Diego.
if Diego would have been there, he probably would have rented us a gas-powered vehicle.
Oh yeah, he would have got
Diego
a
rented
diesel.
us an electric car, and then he stayed back. He
Yeah.
didn't go.
Hey, that
It is-
Audi
it
was
is
dope as hell,
California.
right? It looked great. It was a
loved
beautiful
it.
car.
Listen, when I got on Turo,
That's what got you, right? You saw the picture. It was like
yes,
it was
It
like
looked like
the,
it was
the
white
cover of the
with
Sports
black.
Illustrated.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, this one's good. I like this one.
Hey, visually, that car was banging. That car was awesome. visually.
inside and out.
Yeah, inside and out, man.
Yeah,
Touch
but as a means to get around town and go on a 3-hour drive and maneuver around, it was trash.
Yeah, well, a lot of it had to do with the guy driving.
Hey, Rich, thank you for being the wheelman.
You're welcome.
On that, I would have lost my fucking mind
Oh yeah,
driving
Yeah.
that thing around.
driving
Oh
101.
man.
Then we got stopped.
Hey, did any of us think we were going
man.
101?
You did get stopped.
We got
Yeah,
stopped. Hey,
Diego,
we
you
did.
weren't
We got
there.
stopped.
You weren't there to help,
Oh, we
Diego.
did.
And when
Yeah, we
the
needed
cop came
Diego.
to the window, he
Hey,
said,
no. Actually, we didn't need Diego, so we're going to save you for whenever we do need you. We were able to get out of that one without your assistance.
Hey, you want to hear?
Impressive.
You want to hear? Imagine this, Diego. You've been on some traffic stops. All right, so you just pulled somebody over. They're doing a hundo, like coming through the mountains. As you walk up to the car, the windows roll down, and some jackass turns the music louder than it had been the entire trip.
Oh, Tupac. Yeah.
Tupac starts banging out of the car as you walk up to it, and you walk up and you see us three and Jeremiah. Like, what a ragtag group of morons
Okay, hold
to
on.
pull up in.
and then he rolls the window down and says, "Sir, why'd you stop us?" He said, "For DWB,
Nah.
driving while brown."
Nah.
Yeah.
No,
He said, and I quote, "You're light skinned, but I know what's happening here." And I'm like, yeah. No, so he came up and he's like, "You guys know how fast you were going?" I was like, 47? I just took a stab at it.
It was a
Took
great
stab
guess.
at
It was a great
Thank
guess.
You. Thank
yeah,
you.
Man, like
He
double
chuckled.
That. It was
You
actually,
did good. You played the fifth, and you didn't.
But
Yeah,
it
he
was
laughed.
actually half. It was actually half. It was 94.
94 at that time because at some point Eric
Yeah,
had said, "Dude, you're doing 100."
Yeah, you
And
should have seen us when we were doing like 105.
to be
man.
fair, this car, dude, you could not tell you were doing it. Like there's no sounds.
Floating?
It's electric. You're just floating, and we're going down the mountains in California. So like it's you're just cruising, man. And we were in a hurry trying to get back to get electricity because once again we had run out of battery juice, and He pulls us over, but he was super cool, man. Like he was like, "Hey, I clearly see you guys are mainly white in this car. I'm not going to."
What?
Yeah. So you know what he did? Instead of we didn't get a ticket.
Uh-huh.
Didn't even get a warning. I got a verbal warning.
He told us.
He told us a joke.
That was
He
the
goes,
condition.
I'm gonna let you guys go,
but
if I can tell you guys a joke.
I didn't understand.
I
the
gave
joke.
him the hour. I was like, man, you're Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Do raw. Do
Yeah.
a set. Go ahead. However many jokes you
He
need.
said, "I'd rather be Richard Pryor."
And the joke was not great. It was.
What was the joke?
It's an Irish like Catholic joke.
Oh, Irish.
Basically, there's like an Irish ventriloquist, and the guy gets beat up in the bar. So
He thought it was.
it wasn't. And to be honest, we were all just laughing to laugh, just like to appease this person. Yeah, ha, 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 ha. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
And we know our spot. We know when to laugh.
Yeah.
And how
Oh,
hard and how
100%.
high to laugh, dude. We killed it. And he felt like he told the best joke ever, and everybody won.
We left. He walked away. I gunned it, and we took off again.
You know what was funny is that so originally when we took off from the airport, we couldn't fit all the bags. So Mark,
Oh man.
for everybody that knows Mark,
Yeah.
Love Mark.
What-
we
what's
love Mark.
Mark's job
Before we
title?
get into
Mark-
the story, we love Mark.
Mark is the VP and COO of
smoking-
production
of
and
smoking weed.
smoking J's.
hey, so Mark throws his private label bag in with us, and it's sitting in the back seat between Jeremiah and Wayne. So when we get stopped,
Oh no.
the first thing
Yeah.
Jeremiah says is, "Dude, this guy better not have no weed."
No, that
in
wasn't
here."
Jeremiah. That was me.
Oh, that was you.
It smelled like they had two skunks
Yeah.
between them.
But I
Better
feel
not
like
be anything in this
as soon as the
bag.
cops started walking up, Wayne kind of gave the bag a nudge into Jeremiah's lap.
Yeah.
To make sure
if anybody could get out of that,
Yeah.
it would be him. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just part of our trip. I would say Jeremiah figured it out. At some point, we spent just as much time looking for charging stations and
Yeah, he
filling up
calculated the time. It was
as
like,
we did driving.
It was like 30% of our time there.
Dude,
was
I
looking.
kid you not. We went
For
to
charging
at
station.
one point when Wayne, myself, and Jeremiah left to go get gas. Keep saying gas, but to get electricity
To
and
get
then go back to
juice.
the hotel to
to
change.
get gigawatts.
And Eric was waiting for them to finish part of setup. He got done before we did. We went to 6 different places, and they either didn't work, or we
man.
found
Yeah,
them.
that's a problem there. That's a
so many
serious
of them they
problem.
don't work. I don't know how they're going to switch over to electricity if California is like the testing grounds for it. This is
It
terrible.
was horrible.
6 charging stations at Walmart. Half of them don't work. They're out of order. So only 3 work. One of them, the card reader, doesn't work. So there's only
Right.
2 stations in like a line of people waiting to get to them, dude. I mean, it's like a bread line in Russia or something.
People fighting. Like we saw people fighting over.
We
over
saw one
using-
guy tell that lady, "Well, you know, you're supposed to stop it at 80%, right?" When
Yeah.
she
You know,
was at
most people
80%.
stop it at 80% because he was waiting to get on. It was his next. So
She
she
said,
got
"Fuck
to 80.
off."
He went
Out
up
of-
to
out of
go
courtesy.
handle that.
Oh.
Oh,
That didn't work out for-
What about the elderly couple who unhooked a gentleman's
Oh,
car
yeah.
from the charger while he was in Walmart
Dude,
shopping?
unhooked his car and started filling up their own car, and then this like kind of cholo looking dude came out and was like, "What are you guys doing?" And
And the only reason I think it stayed civil is because he had his daughter with him. She's
Right.
like, she's about 10 years old.
and the other guy was every bit of 93.
And
Like,
he was every bit of a Ken, and his wife was every bit of a Karen. They were
So-
schooling him on, hey, charging etiquette, and you're supposed to stay here and make sure it's charging. And
none of it makes
wasn't
sense
there then.
either.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
wasn't
you
there
weren't there
then.
for that. You were still
Yeah,
at
you
setup.
were,
there
like,
was
actually
there
working.
so there was what I can't understand, if this is the testing grounds for it, more electric cars in California than everywhere else. Dude, there is not one charging station that is at like what we would consider a convenience store or a gas station. So like there's no convenience with these things. Instead
Right.
of being able to pull up and go inside and get your chips and get your drinks and whatever and come back to your vehicle, you can't do that. There wasn't one. There was not one.
But I feel like I'm so prepared for any debate where people say, "Oh, well, if you have a problem with gas prices, get an electric vehicle."
Hell no.
I'm like ready for that
No,
conversation.
not
now.
worth it. Not
I
worth
am
it.
So
Not when
ready.
we have to cruise down a mountain, basically in neutral. We cruised for 30 minutes down this mountain, just so we could hope to get enough juice stored up to be able to get to where we were going.
So it didn't come back fully charged when you guys rented it,
No.
Yeah, it did.
but it zapped
Yeah,
real quick.
Okay, so-
it was fully charged, and according to the gentleman that we rented the car from, we had enough of a charge to
get
get from Orange County to
But,
Visalia.
but that was not
However,
counting.
that was not taking into consideration going up a mountain at 105
Plus,
miles
plus
an hour.
four full-grown men and all their
Yeah,
bags.
4 dudes.
So every
and
time
all
you
the
add
luggage,
you add
plus
weight,
Mark's bag of skunk.
dude, if you turn the AC on, it takes away 20.
Yeah.
20 miles. Like, so when we turned, luckily
Off
it was
the bat,
California.
Like you'll go from like a 200-mile
Yeah.
charge, and it drops like 170.
So we started figuring it out about an hour before we dropped the car back off.
Right.
Then we were like, man, we could have probably made this shit work if we would have kept the air off, windows down,
Yeah.
stayed at
Put
this.
all the bags somewhere else.
Yeah.
So maybe part of the problem is we're from Texas and we're used to running the air conditioning. And
We
we
used to
didn't
drive
really
Fords
need
and
the air
Dodges
conditioning
Yeah.
in Cali because
Chevys.
it was beautiful out there. It was like 80 degrees or something.
Look, I spent another $100 and something this morning to fill my truck up, and I will gladly do
man,
that
I'll
versus
shower
versus
in
dealing
gasoline
with
before
that
I
again.
ever buy an electric
agree.
vehicle.
Well, God
But-
bless Texas.
God bless
God
Texas.
So
bless
besides
Texas,
the car
indeed.
situation,
I'll drink to that.
Cali was all right.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Cali was not bad, not
fights.
bad at all. Like it was better than I expected as far as, obviously when we go into fight week, Eric and I spend a lot of time going, man, how are these tickets moving? like that matters.
It does.
I know people really think that because we're on Fight Pass that doesn't matter anymore. Please remember, we are not even into our second year with Fight Pass. Like we're getting close to it, but we've done a lot of shows on basically our first contract. And so it's not like we have this windfall of extra cash that comes in, because everything that we get goes right back into the business. Like
right.
all this production you see, all these things, that all factors into it. So fight week, there's always that worry of, man, how many tickets do these guys sell? Are these people moving tickets? And then weigh-in day, as you know, is one of the most stressful days. I'm on one side of the room looking at weights, trying to figure out what's happening. We're trying to do green screens, do all these things, and Eric's on the other side dealing with tickets, and he's watching the numbers as they roll in. And so that can be extremely, extremely stressful. But the walk-up was really good. The next day, like Visalia, they came out and bought
did.
tickets and walked up. And
It
so
looked good.
Did it? I was gonna ask you, how did it look on TV?
It looked great. It looked great.
Yeah,
And then
great
even on
turnout.
social media,
Yeah.
I think you posted a picture of a wide shot of
The crowd.
the crowd.
That's
I was
cool.
like, wow.
Yeah, it
It
was
looked
packed. It
The
was
energy
packed,
was
and they were
good, man.
loud. They were rowdy.
Energy was good. I don't know. I heard that like 40
That
times.
was Albert Gonzalez's people.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you about this kid real quick. I saw him walk into weigh-ins. He's a welterweight, probably 6'3". He's about 6'3".
Massive.
Dude, he reminded me of Nate Diaz.
The way he carried himself,
The,
everything.
the
yeah.
vibe, the walk, his face off, the way he talked to his opponent, just everything. I was like, man, this kid's gonna go out there and scrap. And he put on a little show. He got beat, but
He put on the show, but he also shout out to Jefferson Crichton. That's a kid that
He's good.
we've tried to sign for a while,
Right.
And for whatever reason, it didn't quite work out. Timing came great here in California, and he's a top prospect.
Yeah.
And now you're looking at a kid who's 5-2 at 55 R70. Great wrestling, and didn't even use it. Just really used his striking.
He looked good.
And looked phenomenal against. I can tell you now that Gonzalez dude probably came back in over 200 pounds. He was massive in the cage, but he had the California gangbangers are on his side, and you could tell because the
Yeah.
moment he came to the cage, it got rowdy cage side. Like
there was a
security
lot
had
of
to come over.
barking,
Now to
security
be
showed
fair,
up. Yeah.
nothing happened.
No,
Nothing
they
happened. They were
control themselves.
very cool.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were just into their guy,
Yeah.
into supporting their guy.
And he sold his ass off.
Yeah, he
ticket-wise,
sold
too.
off tickets, and they were so passionate about him that I love that. And they're barking across. It was awesome. It was a cool moment, man. And then there was a few other fighters that sold really well on tickets, and you could tell that pop was there. As soon as they walked out, they'd hit that crowd, man, and they'd get at it. And
You can always tell who sold tickets and who didn't.
yeah, man, the undercard. Hey, shout out to the guys at 559 Fights, Jeremy
Heck
Lucha.
yeah.
A lot of finishes. Man.
Every undercard fight finished except for one fight. Every other one finished. Got 2 new champions out of there.
A lot of first round finishes too, man.
Lot of first round finishes.
You should have heard us in the control room. We were
It was
For
a
the
fun.
finishes, huh?
It was a fun night. We got to see some things that we're not used to. In our first fight, we had 2 amateurs who didn't have as many fights, and they had shin guards on.
Yeah, we never
And
seen
that's
that. Never
that's
seen that
never
before.
been a thing here in Texas.
Yeah.
Texas has been like, if you want to kick, boys.
Yeah.
So he
that's
says
a California
that
thing, yo.
both guys in the fight have to have 4 fights minimum, or you have to wear shin guards. And if you don't, you have to wear shin guards and fight 2-minute rounds.
They're also
Does anybody know what the reasoning is behind that?
safety. It's just they
The
think-
same bullshit reasons that California has bullshit medicals and bullshit fees.
Are we
and-
going in on California yet?
Hey, listen.
Man, I
Listen,
mean,
I want to make sure there's a clear differentiator here. 559 Fights, Jeremy Lucha, amazing to work with.
Oh
They
my
were
God,
great.
yeah.
Jeremy
He did a great job,
put
man.
on a fantastic job of awesome matches that really kicked ass.
Yeah, solid
The
dude.
state of California itself,
The regulating
bunch
committee.
of piece of shits.
well, let me tell you. So,
Yeah.
so Jeremy runs 559 Fights, which is all amateur.
You know what? Hats off to Jeremy for having to deal with them the way. I mean,
It's different. That's what
Yeah.
So he deals with Camo, who is the amateur sanctioning, and we dealt with CSAC, who is the pro.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
never deals with CSAC.
okay.
So it was
this is
kind
his
of
first rodeo for
well,
him
he
too. Okay.
he knew just from years ago working the Tai Chi Palace fights of kind of what it was going to bring, and he kind of let me know ahead of time going into it. But then he was a little bit shocked on some of the shit too when we did get there. But
Well, I tell you one thing that glaringly stood out that I hope people understand. So there was a mistake on the state's end about not receiving the proper who's in what corner and what color.
Right. That was a
and
problem.
that had been sent in. And their solution that night, instead of redoing their sheets, they literally could have just redone
but
their
they
sheets.
didn't want to do them. Why? Because of the time, right?
Because of the time.
Right.
They didn't want to take the time to redo them. So we had guys in red gloves with blue
yeah.
tape.
Yeah, we were commenting.
Yeah,
on
did
And
you
then we
notice
had
that?
guys in blue gloves with red tape.
Did you notice that their blue tape was rubbing off on the mat?
Yeah, and then
I
they used
do
some
remember
dumb.
seeing some marking on.
Hey,
Yeah.
Eric, you should send the state of California an invoice for having to clean the
Good luck.
mats from their cheap tape.
They're sending me an invoice for.
I
For,
know, I know. We don't have to go
Hey,
into that
so
unless
go
you
back
want
to
to.
that.
Yeah, so they've got the tape on incorrectly, which led to a problem later on in the night. And
I'm ready
that
when you are.
and you know we when I say us, the Fury, we're getting, man, I can't tell you the number of messages I got about tape and you guys don't know what you're doing and you're doing this, and it had nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us. We sent in their
66
thing.
shows in. You think we don't know the difference? You think we don't know how to do this shit?
So Wayne had a lovely Steve Harvey moment. And
Let's go.
Later in basically what happens
Did you see that?
you know, and to address this is the 66th Fury show
Right.
that Wayne has done, not the 66th show. He has
Ever,
done I don't know
yeah.
hundreds of shows by now at this point, and never had this mistake. We have never had this mistake when it comes to Fury at any point. We go to California. They don't want to listen. They don't. Oh, he's got it
You
right
hear
there.
this? This is paper. See, we're not doing video today. All right. So I brought props though. This is what the state of Texas gives you
We got video
when the
that'll
judges give you a
It'll
decision.
post
They
on
give you a
YouTube,
piece
right?
of
Our
paper,
video?
and look. What you see this gentleman? It's got like the judges' names,
Yep.
and it's
Right.
got their scores, and they give you this, and you can go in there and you can announce who the winner is, right? This is the way it works in Texas and, you know, Colorado. It's a little different, but, you know, they give you something to work off. Louisiana, the same. California, this is what they give you.
A handful of hope.
Nothing. So, anyhow, I brought the card. And he gave me the scores. The gentleman who's a sweetheart of a guy. You know,
Yeah,
as
Dave-
far as
Dave
was
the
awesome. Dave was
California
awesome.
State Athletic Commission goes, and our gripes with them, who I don't know the guy's name, but the guy that was kind of the head of that, you know, the
Ramison.
sweetheart of a dude to
Dave
deal
Ramsey.
with. You know, he was great to work with, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication. And he gives me the scores. All right, so we get the judges' names. I jot that down, and he tells me that this judge right here, this one was different than the other two. I was okay. This one was for Parham, right? Right. So I went in there and I announced these scores and I number them. You see how I numbered them with him. So I'm reading this one first, this one second, this one third. This one was for Parham, right? So this is Parham only got one. Yes. All right, boom, here I go. I've got what I've got. I've got as
Right.
good as I'm going to get. As soon as I make that announcement, he jumps up and starts waving his hands and running towards the cage. No. What the fuck do you mean? No. I literally just cleared this with you 30 seconds before I walked in here. So I snatch his scorecard from him and I go read it. And that's the other thing. Like, they don't have like computers at cage side, like, you know, everywhere else they're working off of
print 'em.
laptops. Yeah, they got to
we
print
print
them. What, you know, that's fine. but they're like working off of like a laptop, whatever. This dude's like keeping score longhand, like he's doing, a long division, and it takes him forever. Like if it took longer than normal, I mean, he's like writing everything out and like doing math, in his head and all this, and writing in cursive like old people like to do and stuff, and it's just taking forever. Anyhow, if you were upset by me making that mistake, I would like to take this opportunity to absolutely apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. It was not my fault, and whenever I'm at fault, I'll be the first one to hang my head, raise my hand, and say, hey, that one was on me. But if you were upset that your guy didn't win because I said the name wrong or whatever, you can thank the California State Athletic Commission for that one. And I'll drink to that, fellas.
You want a refill?
Let's go.
Hey,
God bless Texas.
As we move forward here, make sure once again you guys should check out our amazing sponsors: Howlerhead Whiskey, Sheath Underwear, Space City Collective. Big Air, you went back there. How many? About 9 pair of shoes this weekend?
Yeah. No, I think I got 4. My wife got her first pair.
Got her first pair of J's.
And then I got a couple pairs for some of the guys.
Hey, that's awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
Make sure also you check out official Clean Athlete, cleanathlete.com, or it might be .org, guys. I'm sorry.
I think it's .org, cleanathlete.org.
Yeah, and Kimura Tattoo.
Right
So we
here.
got
Ronnie Byerly.
Hey, so we're gonna have some Fury neck tattoos coming up soon. Diego, I think you're gonna look so good with this Fury neck tattoo.
With my uniform? Uniform?
Yeah. Wayne, right there, like you'll be like, and now it's time to, and you'll look. You point at the neck.
Am I going right side or like front?
Throat.
Front throat.
Right
okay.
on the Adam's
All
apple.
right, yeah.
Right on the Adam's
That's
apple.
Alpha male, right
Hey,
there.
but hey, make sure you check those guys out. Give them a follow. Hey, quick recap of California. Adam Anselin, Gianni Vasquez. Man, Gianni Vasquez looked good. Like Adam Anselin, number 1, shout out, took this fight on a week's notice. Came in and he did. Looking back through the pictures, he did way better than I thought. Like he was busted up. He got cut pretty early in the fight.
Yeah.
But that was a really fun fight.
Dude, he came in 15-5 was his record.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, 40 years old, but 15-5
Right.
record.
I'll tell you what, he couldn't be put away. I'll say that for him. He
Yeah.
was bloodied up,
Yeah.
and he took some heat, took some fire.
Oh,
but
that they said he fought at 115.
Yeah, he normally fights at 15,
looked,
he says.
They look like they were in different weight classes.
Yeah, so Gianni Vasquez, that was his first fight with us at
Gianni's a
25.
stud.
First fight at all at 25, right? Made that weight really easy, made it look good, and looked phenomenal at that weight class. I think with that performance, he probably stamps himself as one of our top contenders as we start to put together the flyweight title.
And I offered him a fight for San Antonio last night, so let's see what happens.
See what happens.
Let's go.
Shout out to Jose Avalos, defeated Tim Ryson via rear naked choke in the co-main event. Great performance from Jose. That was a quick fight, but Ryson's the guy who's been around for a long time. So that was a fun fight to see.
That was a fun.
Jefferson Creighton defeated Albert Gonzalez. Devin Brock, man, put on a show against Luis Jurega. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly.
Howdagi.
Yeah, okay.
But
Dude,
Jamiroquai.
Devin Brock, for a guy who came in at 7-5, a little over a 500 fighter, looked phenomenal.
Yeah, he moved good,
Looked phenomenal.
fought good.
Holt Felkins was defeated by Joshua Dillon. Anthony Parham, we already talked about what happened there. And our female division man, Kat Solorzano, looked fantastic, taking out Gabby Lopez. It's always good to see.
Let's talk about that real quick, that fight, how we almost lost it.
Oh,
For
my
another
goodness.
California
Yeah,
State
that-
Athletic
that-
Commission
yep.
rule. So you don't know the backstory to this. So Kat the fight was at 115.
115 pounds.
Yeah.
Kat came in at 116, and Gabby came in at 111. So they were within allowance had it been Texas. They were within 5 pounds.
Or
whatever.
probably anywhere else.
Or anywhere else, yeah. But then after they weigh in, the commissioner comes to me and he's like, hey, this girl Kat cannot weigh more than whatever.
112. 112 is what I told. Or 112 or 113, I think.
No, she can't. She could have made more than 120.
The next day.
122 or something
Yeah,
like that.
they didn't want her to gain more weight.
Yeah.
They're like, man, she just cut weight. She already made weight. Now she should be able to rehydrate. Well, if they're more than 10 pounds apart tomorrow, the fight's off. It's like, for what reason? Like, you're just pulling shit out your ass.
Because they just made that rule up, and that was kind of the takeaway. I was talking with Jay Shea about this at Cage Side, and he made the brilliant, astute observation. It's like, no matter what you're doing, it's wrong, and they're going to tell you, oh, you're supposed to be doing something else. It's going to be done a different way.
Anyway, the fight ended up staying. We kept it.
It's a
Dave,
fun fight. Hey, shout out to Dave. All the way up till literally right before the show kicked off, we weren't sure if that fight was going to stay. And I happened to be outside waiting for some people to come in, and I heard him talking with the head of the commission,
Andy.
and he was
Andy
fighting
Foster.
for us to keep that fight, and
Yeah.
and he got it. He got it done. We kept the fight, and it was a great fight. It was a
She
great
looked
showing.
good. She looked
Shouldn't
good.
be that hard though.
No,
It shouldn't.
It's just extra stress. Like we went into California. It was supposed to. It was our first show. We were gonna go in there, put on a show, bring the crowd, take off, and there was a lot of little things like this that aggravated the situation, made it harder. The stupid car, was our own fault.
Well,
But some of the things that the commission did, we could have avoided.
added
hopefully.
stress. It was like they were trying to find a reason not to put on an event or not to put on fights. I should say they were looking for reasons to try to scratch fights, and then I don't know. I'll pause in case we need to cut part of this out. But then, like after the fact, they're coming through with all these like additional charges. Like, oh hey, we know you're going to make X amount of dollars on this show, and here's your new bill.
Yeah, look at your crowd. You got
Yeah.
a fight pass deal. Let's
Yeah.
pay this and that.
Wait a minute.
Instead of it being just a charge across the board, it became a charge based off what they assumed
We made money-wise,
we were making. Which in that regards, it should have been a free show.
Yeah, exactly right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Let's call that one a free ski. Hey, so
boy.
we're looking at going back later this year.
October.
One thing that
Can we
is
say October,
it's
or we're
cool
not
to-
allowed to say October?
October. One thing that's cool to see is that we don't just come out and do one show, man. Like we're gonna come out to your city. We're gonna come out, even if it doesn't go great the first time. We're gonna come back. We learn from that, and it'll go smoother this next time we come out.
Yeah,
And I
the
think
head of
we'll
the
see even a bigger
California
crowd.
Commission did say that. It's like, hey, man, I want you guys to come back out here. We want to try to, make this as
Yeah.
right for you as we can. So we want to see you out here
And
again.
almost every guy on that card has already reached out and said,
Yep.
hey, man, when y'all coming
Yeah.
back, we
Let's
want
go.
on.
We want to party with y'all again, Cali. We'll be back hopefully in October.
Hey, definitely. So, hey, again, man, thank you, California. We had a blast coming out there. But this weekend, Fury Amateur Series 39 is going down this Sunday. And, man, this is a fun card with a bunch of awesome locals on it. We got 2 title fights up. Miles Banks, who is, I don't know, is Miles like 8 foot tall, about 400 pounds?
I think it's like 7'8".
That's a scary dude.
Yeah, he is, man.
Miles,
He's a
what,
beast.
6'5"?
He's 6'5", every bit of
265.
every bit of whatever the
Every
limit is.
bit of it.
And
6'5".
one of the nicest guys. When you just get to, again, it's funny. Like especially in this sport, there's so many people you see that are scary, like intimidating looking.
Yeah.
And then you speak to them, and you're like, "Oh, this dude's a teddy bear.
gentleman.
He's a teddy bear.
He is. He comes across with like
he's a teddy bear who could rip your head off, but yeah, he's a teddy bear. He's taking on Brent Campbell in the main event there for the heavyweight title. Also, the 105 title is up for grabs. Hope Holmes taking on Amber Terrell.
Yeah, it used to be Amber Sheck. I was just thinking about her recently. I was
That's
like,
her?
man.
You remember
Yeah,
her?
yeah, of course. She was a beast, man. She would like take some shots and like, I don't know. My memory of Amber Sheck, now Amber Terrell, she would like take a beating like in the first round, almost like rope-a-dope, and then she'd come out like the second round and kill, like finish. Maybe it goes to the third, but she didn't go to the judges very often, and she usually got a finish.
Hey, real quick,
It'll be good to see her again.
look at Diego's howler head pour.
Oh,
What is
my
that? Is that
goodness.
lemonade?
That's
Oh,
Diego's
my
howler pour.
goodness.
I didn't pour this.
Diego, you got work today, Diego?
He's off.
Diego's off. Diego's partying.
Hey, Diego's going to wait for me to leave Humble, and then he's going to go keep drinking.
Hey, also in this card, we got the returner Jonathan Galvan.
Let's
Ross
go.
Thurwalker coming out at 125 for this fight. Be exciting to see. He's an upstanding prospect rising out. Curry Gott making his debut in MMA.
No, Curry's fought for us.
he's
Curry's
fought for
fought
us
twice?
before. Yeah.
I thought this was Curry's debut.
No, he's
man.
fought
Curry,
before
I'm
for
gonna
us.
take that back. I was gonna say he's just been on Sub 100 Pro. I didn't realize Curry
Yeah,
had fought.
he's fought
It's
a
been a
couple
while.
of MMA, yeah, but he's had a break.
that
He's
must
had
have
a
been
break, yeah.
But he-
before my time.
He was one of Cody Owens' guys. Cody was
Yeah,
training.
initially, yeah, Cody brought him in
That must have been before
back in the
my
day,
before
like
my time.
2018,
Curry's the man.
2019ish, something like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
he fought a couple times
It's
in Humble.
probably like a COVID-induced break from MMA, if I had to take a guess.
Wait, did he fight Cameron Smotherman? Is that
Probably.
right?
Did
I
he?
didn't realize
In
that.
twenty-
I don't
in
remember
2020?
that. I don't remember, but maybe.
I guess so.
If
All
it
right.
says it on the internet, it must be true.
Tells you how much I was paying attention to that one.
Talking about that. Talking about that. Fighters, please update your Topology account.
Tapology has to update their tapology.
Yeah.
These idiots.
Yeah, you have to
It's,
reach out and tell them. It helps.
It's not like Wikipedia. You don't just get to log in and change your
No,
info.
I
It's
thought-
not, it's not like
Nah.
I thought if you
Wikipedia.
own your own account, you know.
No,
I
if
wish.
you own your page,
Hey,
you own
you
your
know what'd be
page,
cool?
but it doesn't really.
We need a. I know people are looking for jobs with Fury. We need somebody to like update our website with like fighter bios and records and
Oh, that's Rich's
things
job.
of that nature.
Oh, that's Rich's job.
No.
Rich is in charge. He's the VP of barbecue
I'm VP of barbecue and
All right.
parking.
I get no
and the
barbecue.
janitor.
I've
And,
never had
and the
barbecue.
janitor. My main job is janitor. I just clean up messes. That's what I do. Here.
What's Sitchin's main
I heard you're
job?
cleaning
Main
up a
job,
big one
it's
yesterday.
mainly handies. It's,
Assistant to the janitor.
he's the assistant to the janitor.
He gives the janitor hand jobs.
Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out to I've got 3 guys on this card. Hey, and 3 guys who are normally setting up the cage
Yes.
for us.
I know.
Yeah,
Here,
see, I never know what to
Furious.
think whenever that's the case. You know, they've been helping us out, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
we got new people while they're fighting. It's like, hey, Cody Owens used to help us with that stuff,
Right.
like back in the day, and the other guys.
You
So
know
now,
what?
I mean, we're seeing it again. Like Jeremy's on this card, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So we got Jeremy De Leon making his return, Devin Jones making his debut, and Chris Castillo making his debut, all from that mighty strong style MMA.
I better see nothing but hands all day.
That's not what they do.
Nothing
That's
but
not,
hands.
Not what our guys do.
Oh,
Like
shit.
this not the game. We're gonna take you down. That's the game plan. Bunch of wrestlers
Drag it to the ground
drag
and
it to the ground,
wrestle hump you.
hump your leg while we punch you in the side of the head. That is 100% the game plan. But hey, make sure you go get your tickets. FuryFC.tv. Tickets are still available. Make sure as well follow us on Instagram. We're
Gotta
gonna
drink
do
that
some
one fast,
giveaways this
Eric.
week. Oh, what happened here?
He's got a hole in the bottom of his
He
cup.
made a howler mess.
Look at this mess. I hope that doesn't ruin the equipment.
You know,
Diego?
with that,
Yeah.
if you're following this and you're listening to this, please talk to the non-MMA people or non-combative sports people. Tell them to come to these events because it's like one of the best experiences you can see as far as live
Oh, dude,
sports.
live MMA.
There's
is
nothing
insane.
like seeing like if you watch it on TV and you kind of enjoy it on TV. I assure you, there is nothing like being there live in the arena, feeding off that energy from the live crowd, seeing somebody get knocked out live. I mean,
it's insane.
there's nothing like it.
insane.
It's like wow. So yeah, what Diego's trying to get across to you is don't tell a friend, bring a friend.
Ooh, that's
Tickets
good. I
available
like
at
that.
FuryFC.tv.
Yes.
This weekend, Sunday.
Get your tickets now. Let's make it happen. We're gonna have some fun. Speaking of fun, man, I don't think have we
New
done
Orleans?
a show since New Orleans.
Are we
No.
gonna talk about New Orleans? Or are we saving that for another show?
You want
or
to talk
what?
about how y'all took me into the dungeon?
Hey, y'all, man, that was rich. That was like a rich
Y'all
and
took me into
tetchy
the
job
devil,
right
dude.
there.
This
They were the
wasn't a pleasant-
locals.
Hey,
This wasn't a
so
pleasant dungeon.
so
Shout out to my boy
Hey,
Tetchy.
shout out to the man
Tetchy.
Tetchy. So I grew up in New Orleans, and Tetchy went to school at Tulane. So the two of us, that's like our stomping grounds. Like we know where to go. And so what was it? Friday night? We went to Tipitina's, which is like
Tipitina's.
it's your typical like.
Is that what the name of the place is?
Yeah.
The spot where
It's
we
like-
almost died?
It's like, no, not that one. This is like a college. Yeah. This is like a college.
Oh, Wayne wasn't there.
Live music. Yeah, you weren't there for that.
Yeah, it was Friday night then. Yeah, I was there
College
Friday night.
live music, like it's a staple in New Orleans. It's been there probably like 100 years. It is an amazing. 100. It's been there since the 70s, but still, like it's awesome. Like live music, fun atmosphere, laid back. Everyone and everything from like the kid who shouldn't be in there drinking, like literally at like 17, all the way up to some old heads just jamming music. Man, it's just
It
live
was crazy.
music.
The vibe when I walked in, I said, man, I was looking at all these kids, and like a bunch of them reminded me of my son.
Yeah.
And I'm in here, and me and Rich are in here with Tetchy and his
Your son who just had a
Fiance.
birthday. Happy
Yeah, happy
birthday,
birthday to my
EJ.
boy.
Just turned 15, right?
yesterday.
Golly, dude.
Happy
We're-
birthday.
But
We're
we were in there, and I
getting
see all
old.
these little kids, and we go up to buy some beers, and there's like this little girl next to me. She looks every bit of 16. and
Yep.
She's like, "Can I have 6 Bud Lights?" And I'm like, "Man, my kids are never going to school out here."
Yeah. So it's a different vibe there. Like if you go to school, if you grow up out there.
Well, the
like,
legal drinking
you're
age
ex-
used to be 18
it
in
wa- it-
Louisiana.
So when I was
Is it?
when I
Apparently
was-
it still is.
21 or is it still 18?
It's 21. So when
Okay.
when I was growing
16.
up, you could be 18 and buy alcohol. And then for like a weird like year and a half, You could buy beer at 18, but you couldn't drink it till you were 21. So you could technically go into the bar,
What
buy
a
alcohol,
rule. What a
and
law.
sit down, and just leave it there.
That's the daddy law.
Yeah,
That's
and
weird.
that's why the roads are so bad in New Orleans, because the federal government wouldn't pay for road commissions because
okay.
they wouldn't change the drinking age.
Oh,
And the roads are bad in New Orleans.
And so that's why, like,
that makes
man,
sense.
I want to say it was early 90s when they finally changed it, like 94, 95, somewhere in that range. They finally changed it. You're 21 now.
But they
that
still haven't
doesn't-
fixed the roads.
But it also doesn't matter. Like, every place we went, did anyone ideas? No, you just walk in.
Well, they
Well,
did.
they
They
did
did.
ID his
They
wife-
did
his
ID
wife, his
Anita.
girlfriend.
That
Oh,
that
yeah.
70-year-old dude trying to pass himself off for 50. Yeah, he's giving Anita a hard time at the door.
That's hilarious.
Say- hey,
get on out of here.
Oh man, yeah, he was giving her a hard time at the door, and whenever I saw what was happening, because me and Techi, we were already like,
Y'all said,
we
"Fuck
were already
everybody else,
in,
we're
we were
out."
like halfway to where we were
Ordering
going, and then we
drinks.
realized, hey, nobody else is with us. Y'all were still back at the door. I saw what was happening, and I was like, hey man, they're fucking with Anita. So I started beelining it, and Techi was like, hey man, please be cool, don't da. So I mean, shout out to Techi for keeping me in line. But yeah, everything was cool. We got in, and we had a great time at that spot. But yeah,
Did
they
you see
checked
that guy
IDs
that
at
was
that
working the
one
booth?
spot. At that one spot.
Do
That
you
wasn't
think-
that wasn't the dungeon though.
Do you think Wayne could have taken
Oh, I
that
think
guy?
Wayne would have whipped the shit out of him.
Well, you
Would've
know,
dog whipped him.
They
I
would've
wouldn't
DDT'd him?
do that. I wouldn't have done that.
It'd have been close.
Listen, okay, real quick.
I would have offered him a beer first.
You're a wrestling fan.
That's what they say.
Okay, so if you ever got in a street fight, what's your go-to wrestling move that you would do?
Front face lock into a DDT.
Yes,
There
I knew
you
he was
go.
going to go DDT.
There you go.
DDT.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes,
I have a
baby.
story that I'll tell off the air about that one day.
Smart move. I love the DDT move.
Wayne's got a ton of stories. Great one.
So yeah, we had dinner with our awesome sponsor out there, Blue Nola.
Oh, dude, he was
amazing
awesome.
guys,
Yes.
amazing guys. One of the best dinners.
Was that Friday?
That was Friday night, I think. Either whatever night. It was all a blur. Hung out with those
Yeah.
guys. Awesome sponsors. Great to have them on board. And then we hit Bourbon Street.
Let's go back to the dinner.
What happened to
Which dinner? Friday or
dinner?
Saturday night?
Dude, I love to eat all that shit.
Dude. So we're
What did y'all ask me? What did y'all ask? We talked about this on the podcast, remember? They said, what are you going to eat in New
Oh,
Orleans? I said, I'm
yeah.
going to Fogo de Chao.
And we did.
And
we
we went
did.
to Fogo
That's,
de
that's
Chao.
You went to
exactly
New
where
Orleans
we
with the
went.
Fogo de Chao?
We went to
Yeah.
Fogo de Chao.
Oh,
and-
dude.
You know they
and
have
it
those
was-
here, right?
It was a
I
throwdown.
You can do that here in Houston. You
Yeah,
don't have
but
to go to
here
New
I
Orleans
have
for
to.
that.
But here I have to pay for it. Out there, I
Yeah,
have to-
yeah, you had to pay for it. It was free. It was free. It was a awesome meal. Everybody, I mean,
The guys were great that we
yeah,
went with.
great to hang out with. But then we hit Bourbon Street with Techi and his fiance and a few other people.
Elisa, shout out Elisa.
And I don't know if it was planned, but like we went to a dinner and look up and there's Wayne
Bam.
walking into dinner. So like, hey, we'll sit down. And,
Word.
And you know, we got Michael Alexander. We got everyone sitting there. We hang out, and then it's time to hit the streets.
We're just gonna.
And so we go
Gloss
to we
over-
go
we're
we
just
go
gonna
we
gloss over
go to
dinner?
a go to
Yeah,
a
what
couple
about all the
bars.
shit we talked about at dinner?
God.
All the strippers and cocaine.
Man,
Strippers and cocaine.
no, but man, it was so good to sit down with Michael Alexander, and he told some stories, and
Yeah,
man,
Mike's a good guy, too.
I learned a lot about Michael Alexander that I didn't even know. I mean, shout out to Michael Alexander, the
He was
black
a
belt himself.
Navy guy.
Yeah, man, he did some time in the Navy, man. Like
Really?
I didn't realize what a badass he was.
Black belt Mike.
Black belt Mike.
Honest
Black
straight
belt
up, man,
Mike
it happen.
99.
While we talk about Mike, though, our commentary team's amazing.
It is.
Hey,
Dude, I love these guys.
Shout out Raheel Ramzanali,
Raheel.
how you doing?
Love Raheel.
Even Raheel.
Mike,
Even Raheel is
Raheel and
doing
Morano
all right.
couldn't ask for a better set of guys, man. I'm
No,
glad,
we really
I'm
are,
glad
man,
they
we
all
are.
came together.
Yeah, those
They're
guys
vibing.
are great.
Hey, and you know, it bears mentioning Alex Morano, who is also a part of our broadcast team. He's out training, fight camp, getting ready for his upcoming fight. He's part of the all-star team that we have, cage side, calling these fights, man.
They do a great job together.
They
man.
really do, man. Shout out to the commentary team.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
those guys are amazing, and especially now that they had to come in studio when we were out
Yeah.
of town, and that's a
Right
different
here.
vibe, man. That's
DNA
a totally
studio,
different vibe. And you're,
Who's Diego
you're-
pointing to that we're not
you're-
doing video today?
Yeah, we are.
He said we
It's
weren't.
just not there.
He
but
said
it's
we
still
weren't.
recorded now.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
no.
be
We're,
doing this
we're
all
doing
the time,
video.
man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, God damn, I asked you earlier. I'm over here like making paper
Making
noises in the
noises. I was
microphone because you
wondering
told
what-
me
I
you
was
weren't doing
And
video.
they did a close up of you doing that.
He
too.
You
did.
did.
I was wondering what Wayne was doing, and I said,
Because he
"Look
told me
at
we
him."
weren't doing video.
I was just letting him do his
No,
thing.
we're
man.
just-
I
not on
asked
the
you before we
monitor.
started recording. You're like,
Sorry.
yeah, no video today. I'm like, okay.
Hey,
It's all that Hallerhead.
so we did the typical Bourbon Street walk. You know, we went down to a few bars,
There's
got a few
Dookie all
drinks.
over the
There's
floors.
Dookie
Oh,
everywhere.
God.
We went to Dookie
The
John's.
We had
stench.
some Dookie chases as we drove by, and then I don't know how it happened, but Tetchy and I were just kind of reminiscing about, I used to go here, I used to work here, I used to do this. And as you're walking
Y'all
by,
were fucking bromancing.
there's this bar called
Holding
the Dungeon.
hands.
This bar called the Dungeon. That is, it is flat. It's a heavy metal bar.
Oh my
It's one of the
God.
few. You walk into like this maze almost to get in. You got to turn sideways. Like I can't walk normally. You got to turn sideways to get in.
It is, and it's pretty cool though.
Yeah. You go in, dude. It's dark music. There's like goats and everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't know. We were just walking Bourbon Street, and we like walked into this place. I mean, I didn't know like what was going on. I
Y'all
kinda,
had this shit planned.
Yeah. I
So
think they
we
probably
walk
did.
in, and Eric usually fits in everywhere really easily. Like hands down, whether it's or the tip off, everybody hanging out, whoever it is, Eric gets along. I've never seen him more out of place than we walk into this heavy metal bar. A few people order drinks, and he's just standing there in the corner like, God, please get me out of here. Dear Lord, help me. Like, he said a little prayer. I saw him turn around and be like, I didn't choose to come here, Lord.
Man, you should have seen. The first thing I see when I walk in is like some
Satanic goat head.
Yeah.
some lamb head with horns. And listen, I grew up in a Pentecostal church.
Man, hey, brother. Hey.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Like
been
there was
there.
holy rollers. They used to scream and shout
Shouting in
and
the
dance
aisles and running and
Not
yeah.
today, Satan.
yeah, not today. So well, it was that
So
day, Satan.
we recognize satanic activity when we see it. But
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it because I was ordering a drink.
Yeah.
And I turned around and Rich's like, hey, we're gonna go. I'm like, well, we just got here.
I gotta get
I
out
didn't even,
of
I
here.
didn't even
And
like
to be
really get
fair-
to see whatever Eric saw that made us leave. So
Hey, to be fair, also, at 43 for me, it was not the same vibe I remember at like 17.
I text Jeremiah real quick. I said, "Hey, pray for Rich right now."
yeah, man.
Start
At
praying for Rich
At
right now.
17, it was a different vibe, but then we went and hit Pado's, which is where, we had the ID incident.
That was awesome.
But
fun
Pado's
time.
Fun.
is like, it's a piano bar, great drinks. Like, you're just sitting around with your friends and you're singing to different songs.
Yeah,
And that's
I
like
have a
your-
confession to make about Pat O's because I've never ever done this, but y'all brought shots around, and I was already feeling pretty good.
Ah, you
Dude,
tossed him
tell
over
me
your
you
shoulder.
I had to. I had a show the next day,
Holy
and you guys would not have. I wouldn't have been doing you justice if I'd have taken that shot.
You
Man,
hear
it would
that,
have been
Mick?
all over. Like we're at the breaking point.
You
We're at
hear
the
that,
breaking point.
Mick?
And you know what? Hey, and you know what? You know who was grateful that I did? Tara. She's like, oh, what a professional. He really does care about the show and the production.
She ain't getting
So,
none
hey.
of Maverick tonight.
Hey, shout out. Thank you, Tara, for not ratting me out. I confessed here live on the podcast. Yes,
I'm texting
the
her
one
ass
and
right
only
now.
time ever in my life I've dumped a shot. I did it at Pado's.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
so it was a fun experience though, and New Orleans is another one. I think you could see us going back to New Orleans as well. It was a fun show.
It was great.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
gotta
Can we
do
go back there
camp.
next month?
That was a great looking venue. by the
Man,
way.
what about Joshua Weems?
Yeah.
Like new champ, 135-pound champ, took this fight on a relatively short notice. The original plan for New Orleans was to have Carlos Vera take on Mo Miller.
Right.
And then about 5 weeks out, basically Carlos Vera was like, "I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to do this fight." So we had to find someone to take on Mo Miller. And for those who know, Mo Miller's one of the hardest guys to match up.
that's
No
not an
one
easy
wants
task.
to
Bad
face him.
dude.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to face Mo because he's powerful, athletic, and literally like world-class wrestling. The guy can take down anybody when he wants to, except for Josh Weems.
I never really understood that. Like, if you want to be the best, I mean, why would you back down from who you think might be the best?
Some people have managers that guide them incorrectly.
Yeah.
Like, instead of beating the best person in front of you, they try to pick and hunt their way.
Is it-
Let's
Records.
pad our record
That's
all the way to
kinda
the
what it
UFC.
is now.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the prison code? You go up to the biggest person. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be. It should be.
Hey,
the
you
prison
tell us,
code.
Diego. You tell us.
Hey, not only that, not only did Joshua Weems perform amazingly, he took down Mo Miller, which I don't think has happened in any of his fights.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So we've got a very creative, very bouncy, way better than I'll be honest. I knew Josh was good. I didn't know he was that good. And that performance he had that night, he completely starched Mo from the opening round till the end. Till he finished with guillotine, I think, or was it rear naked choke?
guillotine.
Yeah, guillotine to finish the win. So congrats to Josh. Man, our champions don't last long. Our champions come in, they get picked up. He might get one defense. We'll have to see. So he is unbelievable. He took that fight on such short notice and absolutely killed it, man.
I'd like to see Mo and Vera now.
Mo and Vera. Oh yeah.
Now, I mean, Mo's coming off that loss. He still performed. He still did a good job.
Yeah.
And
Impressive
no-
showing for Mo Miller. in the loss.
But Weems has been in the UFC, right?
Josh Weems?
Mm-hmm.
No, he hasn't been in the
has
UFC.
not?
No,
Contender?
He did. He
did
lost.
Contender.
Yeah, he lost in Contender Series in 2021.
He was on the cusp of the UFC.
But he's 10-2. You know,
Yeah, he's there,
solid,
man.
solid record. And he's only, what is he, 28? He's on the right side of 30. You know, so we probably won't see him
Very
too
Much longer, maybe a
Yeah,
fight or
right.
two max.
He's on the right side of the right management.
Talking
Right.
about contenders,
Right.
we got an influx of Fury fighters.
Yeah.
Man, we got 4 right now. That's right now. So we got Zach Borrego taking on, man, talk about Bo Nickel. That's a tough fight.
Yeah, with that win in New Orleans, Zach Borrego got the call to get the shot on Contender Series.
Man, one of those things too. Like, so we knew that heading
Yeah.
into the night. We knew that if he won, he was going to get the opportunity. That's all he had to do was just go out there and win. He went out there, had a great performance, wins, and you know, it's one of those things too. It's like, hey, you win. Here's your chance. You get to go against one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers of all time.
And that's the kind of shit I like to see, you know, because we asked him, and he realized the opportunity was there right away. And, you know, the next day they were like,
And
hey,
that
we're
can
in.
be intimidating to a young fighter too, man. Like, you know,
For
whenever
sure.
your plan is to fight a certain amount of fights and, you know, try to make it or whatever, and then the opportunity comes like, hey, here's your opportunity now. It's like, whoa, holy shit, I wasn't ready for the opportunity, but he's seizing it, he's grabbing it. Shout out,
Me and
props to
Jason
Zach
House
Borrego.
talked to him, and, you know, we kind of told him, hey, look, you're 25 years old. You have nothing to lose. It's
Not
totally
a
up to you.
thing.
And I love how Jason told him, listen, I'm a let you make the decision. Like, I think it's a good opportunity. I'm not going to say do it like you have to do it. You make the decision if you feel. And he was with it. He was like, man, let's do it. He
Sounds like
realized
good
that.
management to me.
I mean, if you think about it, worst comes to worst, he goes out. Let's say he loses on Contender Series. He's 3-1. He comes back. He wins a few more fights. He's right
right
back
back.
there again.
Exactly.
No
85
problem.
is not a big division where there's so many guys lined up to get in there.
No.
So we got Zach Borrego on there. We got the champ Austin Lane. We relinquishing his title to go into Contender Series. Nazim and Jose Johnson.
Nazim is a savage.
You know, Jose Johnson's a savage.
Jose Johnson's a savage.
Jose Johnson is a savage. His last fight for us, was it the
That was Delaney Perry.
was it the Delaney Perry fight?
Yeah, but Jose, too, with Mo Miller in Colorado, like,
Yeah.
short notice, change. Like, it was ever since Jose lost to Liamana, he just came out hungry, and he's looking to finish.
You know he didn't expect that to happen at all.
Not at all.
And
who
to
knows
see
how
him
that
come
fight
back,
would go
rebound
if they
from
ever
that
fought
loss.
again. I mean, that was very quick. The first exchange, he got clipped and he was out.
Exactly. And that's the
Shout out
fight
to
game.
Liamana. He's got power, but
Yeah, you know, Jose Johnson, Nazim, you know, I think it just speaks to the strength of our roster. When, you know, you and I were looking at it, there's probably, if they wanted to, there's at least 6
well,
or 7
the
more
thing
guys
is
to
that
go
they've
right now.
only. I'm pretty sure they've only done like the first 5 weeks.
Right.
So we still have Diego Lopez,
Jesse Butler.
Anthony Romero's still up there in the mix. We possibly could have some flyweights. Look at the flyweight fights we have made right now.
Yeah.
Like we have flyweights that are 7-1, 6-1. What is Shelton right now? Shelton would have
9-2
to
or 8-2, something
Shelton
like that.
would have to go off like back into a short call. He wouldn't go to
Yeah,
contender since he's already
Shelton
been there.
would go to a short call.
But the guy who beats him,
Right. You look at
That's-
like a Paris Moran or a Josh Van.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, it was
Oh man,
Yeah.
coming up in August, right?
yes sir.
Man, hey, again, I know this isn't hyperbole, man. Y'all have heard us say this a million times. It's the best damn card we put together.
This
yet.
card is insane.
Man,
This
August
is the looking for a
14th.
fight card. Dana needs to come check this out.
Yeah.
Hey, so on
Make a
that
call.
card, I don't know if you guys have it. So our 145 champion Nate Robinson puts his title on the line.
Richardson, sir.
Is it
Nate
what-
I was
Richardson.
gonna say, who the hell's Nate
What did I say?
Robinson?
Isn't Nate Robinson a baseball
What did I say?
player?
No, Nate Robinson.
He's
Is that the
basketball.
Admiral? The Admiral, Nate Robinson.
That's David Robinson.
Spurs.
That's David.
As long as we're
Robinson.
butchering
Y'all are
names.
all fucked
How you
up.
gonna make fun of me and come back with the
Hey.
wrong damn name?
The Admiral Nate Robinson. That's just my.
You said Nate Robinson.
Isn't it David Elijah?
Yeah.
Y'all know that James Jordan dude?
Come on,
That
man.
was his dad.
I
wasn't
like
that
how Rich messed up the
Shaquille
name. And
James?
y'all are roasting me now.
Hey,
Shit.
LeBron
You're
O'Neal?
welcome.
it? Hey, for those who don't know, main event Hussein Aliyev taking on Nate Richardson for the 145
Hussein
title.
Richardson?
Yeah, Hussein Richardson. Josh Van taking on Paris Moran.
Bang, bang.
Josh
Man.
Fight
Van,
of the
Paris.
night. I'm
Josh
telling you.
Van spoke this fight into
Have you seen this
existence.
card?
After Paris's last win,
I know.
Josh Van was in the crowd, and like after the show, I'm walking around. You got to
He
to do.
came
and
to
I-
me.
He came to me too.
No,
He's like,
man,
I
like-
want Paris Moran, and I'm like, man, that'd be a great fight. I mean, honestly speaking, I don't know if you're ready for that, but shit, what a great fight that would be.
Dude,
but I saw him making the rounds. So I'm talking to you. So I'm talking to everybody. Anybody that will listen. Josh Van like manifested this fight. So it's going to be a banger.
I'll say we talked about
We didn't want to make
we
it.
did not want to make this fight.
I did not want to make it.
And the reason for not wanting to make this fight isn't not having belief in Josh Van. It is more in the fact that it was like, man, we got two guys with
That we can send
one
them
loss
both.
each. We can send both of these guys out. But Josh Van made such a case to everyone, his management, Jason House,
And he's
everyone
good.
who could, and he's very good of that. Like,
And
hey,
he's on the right side of
I want
25.
this fight, and kind of the same thing exactly. If he goes out and let's say he does, if he loses, no big deal to his career. If he
For
goes
either
out,
one.
if he goes out and finishes Paris, dude,
What
he's the one that's probably
what an
gone.
accomplishment, yeah.
Hey, also on this card, the 135 debut of J-Boy Jonathan Davis taking on Peter Caballero. What a fight for your first 30,
Oh
35.
man, that's gonna be a banger right there. I always cringe whenever I see like fighters that I know and like having to fight each other. It's like, man,
Hey, talk about bangers. How about this one? Eric Mercado and Justice Torres.
another one right there.
That on any other card,
Chicho versus Justice.
that could be a co-main or a main event.
Yeah.
Justin
all
has
day.
been asking for this fight for a year.
That could main event any of these cards, man.
We got return of the D&D master Nico Echeverria taking on Nicholas Compton. Darren Whitney and Santiago Guzman is going to be just a
Scorpion
bloodbath
King.
from day one. Louis Luna and Jake Heffernan. Louis Luna, the Texas OG, on a nice little run here right now. We got
Taking on the
Celine
grinder.
Haga and Emily Whitmire, two of the Emily Whitmire formerly out of the UFC, looking to work her way back there, and Aaron Gomez and Carlos Jimenez. Dude, this card is absolutely
It's
stacked.
just the main card only.
This doesn't even count on the undercard. Jose Lemus, Oliver Jimenez, a return of Oliver Jimenez, Christian Strong and Gabby Echeverry, two of the top
Echeverry's
130,
back.
two of the top 135 talents. Solomon Amadeo and Hector Syons, JC DeLeon and Michael Murphy, Mario Mo, Jake Williams, Derek Adjade and Jesse Gengler, Jose Lemus, Brandon Meneses and Jordan Pluton. Hey, my guy Joshua Alemán taking on Tyler Mora in the undercard, and probably Chris Castillo. We'll see. We'll see what Chris does. So 8. That's going to be 8/14 Escapade. Another amazing card. We released some of our summer schedule. We got 8/21. We're in San Antonio.
That's a
9/23
card.
Dallas.
Man, San Antonio, the crowd out there is always fire. I can't wait
San
to go back to San
Antonio
Antonio. It's
is-
been too long since we've been to San Antonio.
Isaac Moreno versus Sam Kilmer.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Dude, you've got an absolute assassin on the feet versus just one of the top
An
assassins
assassin
on
on
the
the ground. Yeah.
ground. Like this, we always talk about who can get the fight where they want it to be.
Cody Steele's back on that card.
Cody Steele is back. We got some amazing fights coming up, and that's what we do. That's what we do. Like we put on banger cards to make sure that these guys get highlighted. If you are a top prospect or a prospect in the nation, I can't see why you would want to fight anywhere else. No one's going to keep you as busy as we are, and no one's going to put you in the spotlight like we are.
And we're pumping them through the amateur
And you
series.
stupid electric cars. What? I'm sorry. What happened?
Oh,
And we're
man.
pumping these guys
Electric cars
through the
suck.
amateur series to a Fury undercard, to a Fury Pro undercard, and then to the main card. It's a process, guys.
We have a template for you.
Yes. Yes.
Or platform. It's a
That-
platform.
That too.
I don't know about the platforms.
Yeah, it's not a
templates
platform.
and
All that
these things
shit.
you guys got. All these amazing things. Hey, once again, make sure we give a shout out to our sponsors: Howlerhead Whiskey, Sheath Underwear.
If you don't get head, at least get the howler.
That's
head.
right. Get that monkey spirit in you.
Man, look at this Coke dripping all over me.
You're welcome.
You're not supposed to pour it into cups with holes in it,
Our
sir.
guy Space City Collective. Make sure you go out there and support them. Space City _
Hey, let's talk
Collective
about
on Instagram.
the Fight Pass Invitational real quick.
Oh,
Eh.
We were out in
Bathroom
Vegas. We were out in Vegas. Had a great time with Mickey Maynard. Wayne just knocked his mic off.
knocked over his mic a little much on the howler head. Got to hang.
That's okay.
got to
Wayne's
hang-
got too much head.
Hey,
got to hang out
Diego,
with,
cut that part out.
You know what's
Did
funny?
you see me
is-
one hand that? I
Yes,
caught that
yeah,
one-handed.
You did. Appreciate it.
Got to hang out with Mick Maynard and his scarecrow.
They're going to
Andrea.
talk about the UFC Invitational. I'm going to take a
Yeah.
bathroom break. I'll be right back.
We're trying to give Wayne a little insight on the invitation.
Yeah, but then he just took off. Like, he didn't even care.
Justin Bernard wouldn't do that.
Justin Bernard would be right here, right now. Hey, but the Invitational was fun, man. It was
was.
awesome. For those who don't realize, Eric puts together the UFC Invitational every time, and now this has become a staple where people are asking to get on this constantly. And so this time it was Team Icon versus Team FAC versus Team A1 from Uriah Faber versus Team
Pettis.
Yeah, Anthony Pettis' team. Fun card, man. They put together some fun matches, some great undercard fights, and from my understanding, the reception was really well. Like, again, and speaking of, we had Elliot Kelly
Was on Team Faber?
Yeah, competed for us in Vegas, and then a week later was one of the judges in California.
Cali show. Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, man, you guys do this too?" It's like, well, yeah, this is actually what we do.
This is first.
Yeah.
So it was cool because it was what happened was they got 4 UFC fighters to put together teams and compete for $25,000 first place and $15,000 second place. So like Rich said, it was Team Masvidal, Faber, Pettis, and James Krause, and Team Pettis ended up taking the first place
with a massive blue belt.
Yeah. And then Masvidal took second place.
Took second place.
They took the 15K. Then we had a few undercard matches too, right?
Yep. Shout out to the Shapiro brothers.
Yeah.
Shane
Roxanne.
Shapiro this time, right?
And
Roxanne Modafari.
And Michelle Oliveira, who we have signed
We have signed.
to Fury FC.
Just got to get some matchups for him rolling. But the Invitational is fun, and it puts together something that we've talked about for a while, the team concept.
Right.
Which we've done it here in Houston. I think we're going to try it for our next Dallas Sub Hunter card as well. So I mean, I love the team aspect of the quads.
Be another invitation at the Apex in December.
That's right.
We're going back in December.
Who cares about that, though?
And grappling prior to that, we got Submission Hunter coming up.
Got Submission Hunter coming up. We got a couple Submission Hunters. We got Submission Hunter Houston coming up.
Oklahoma.
Lake Charles
Lake
is supposed
Charles.
to do too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Lake Charles wants to come back with Fury again as well.
I know.
I got hit up.
It's not enough time.
When are we gonna do all these shows?
We got to start doing Monday night shows, Tuesday,
Let's go.
Wednesday.
Friday, man. Friday Night Fury. We've got great turnout on Friday nights. People love it.
It's Punch and Brunch Sundays, I think.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Well, I mean,
Look at that milk Wayne got. It's all milk.
That's-
What you do to that, Wayne?
hey, man. Diego's looks identical. We have
Now
the
I
sin
gotta-
bartender.
They're gonna have some turned stomachs in a little bit.
Nah, that'd be
just
good.
dumpies.
They'll be
Just
at
some
Papacito's eating ribs.
straight dumpies going on here in just a little bit.
Tell him, Wayne, this how a real
Why do
man
you think I had to
thinks.
run to the bathroom? I kid.
Hey, so again, make sure that you guys are sharing the show. Like,
Please.
subscribe.
Please, it
comment,
costs you
rate
nothing to subscribe. You don't even get the notifications. Just subscribe.
And let us know what you want to hear us talk about, who you want us to talk to. I'm sure we'll have a special guest again this Sunday.
Yeah.
As we'll record after the fights again this
It'd be
week.
cool
I
to
think
get
Kim
Miles Banks if
Kardashian's
we
coming.
could.
Kim Kardashian's.
Yeah, I think Kim's coming in.
Pass the word around. If Chris isn't here, if Kim isn't here, maybe we'll grab Chris Brown or Kanye. One of those two. We'll
Maybe Kris
call in.
Jenner.
Pete Davidson.
I don't know if Bruce is available, but if we can,
That's
if we
Caitlyn
can,
Jenner.
I don't know who's
It's
who.
controversial. We're going into controversial
There-
topics.
I don't know who's who.
Is it? I mean, what's the name?
My level
You want
of
to get us canceled for talking about
my
trans?
level of
Hey,
knowledge.
I'm not playing the cancel game. I'm not playing
I
that.
don't have the
I wish
knowledge
somebody would come
from the
us with that.
Kardashians to be able to talk.
got
about
rebuttals.
who's
Hey,
who.
let's go back to a story real quick from California.
Are we going back to Cali?
Let's go back to Cali. You want to play that song? I'm the DJ.
Going
Cali.
back
Play
to
that song?
Cali.
Hey, remember? Hey, what airport were we at when you hit the bathroom?
What airport were we at when I hit the bathroom?
Yeah, you went to the urinal.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, we just landed at John Wayne. That was on the way in. Yeah. You want me to tell that story on the air?
Let's hear it.
So
Let's hear
I
it.
get off
funny.
the plane. I get off the plane, and it was, there was some maneuvering that had to happen last minute because the team switched airports on me. I was flying into LAX, but everybody was flying into John Wayne in Orange County.
We didn't
So,
switch on you. You don't know how to read.
Based on conversations that we had, we were
You
flying-
literally had a picture sent
But
to
I-
you.
I was was looking at the times, man. I was looking at the times. That's fine. I don't know
continue
how to
on with
read.
the story. Continue
I
on with
don't
the
know
story.
how to read. But anyhow, we
know how to read. That's why I got the
we
decision
landed
ball. That
Orange
makes sense.
County. Get off the plane, and for some reason, Eric wants me to tell this story, so I will. But yeah,
The way you told it to me the first time, it was funny.
we had to, you have to usually whenever you get off the plane, you have to use the restroom. So I'm making a beeline to the restroom. First urinal I see, I'm going towards it, and it looks like somebody like trimmed their nuts in the urinal, man. It's like, are you going bald? I mean, did you need pills? Like, are you losing all your hair? But maybe it was like date night, and the dude just got off the plane, and he's like, oh no,
That's what I thought.
I don't have anywhere to like go before I meet old girl, and it's probably gonna go well. I better manscape here at the urinal. But I mean, it was an abnormal amount of hair in this urinal at John Wayne Airport.
So our conclusion was that the guy had a date.
He had to have had a date. That had to be what it was. And
He
he had,
unzipped and realized-
and I'm not going to mention any products because they don't sponsor this podcast. But he probably used that product that like
He
Juan
scaped it up
Adams
a little bit.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna get it.
I think he scaped up a little bit, and I hope things went well for him because God knows he scared me into the next urinal.
If we can get Manscaped to sponsor us, I will give Rich a haircut right here in the studio with those Manscaped clippers.
But that's
Not
not what
a
it's
whole
for.
lot.
But that's not what it's for.
Hey, listen. If
Are you going to
want-
give him a haircut where it counts?
If you want
On
to
his
take that
head.
task,
On
if
his
you
head.
want to
with a
take that
lawnmower
task,
5.0 or whatever they're on
hey,
now.
get in there. I'll dangle them. I'm not scared.
I bet Rich's
Sidgen would probably do
hedges
that.
need trimming, so we'll do it
Hey,
on
look,
camera,
I am
Diego.
smooth like a turtle shell. Just in
Rich says he shaves it, it looks bigger.
Yep, it does.
Shave an inch, gain an inch. Is that what they
Almost.
say?
Yeah, that puts me at 2.5. So, as long as the ride works, that's all that matters.
Oldest ride, longest line, right?
That's what she said.
Yeah,
Two
thank
and
you.
a half.
Thank you. Man,
Diego, I wanted noted Diego's still where he was whenever I left to go to the restroom.
No.
Y'all guys,
But did you see my?
I finished mine and had to hit the restroom.
so we're hitting another podcast this weekend.
another show this weekend. We will try. Man, it's hard for us to be consistent. During the week, we all have full-time jobs. Eric has to make sure that his butlers are taken
full-time-ish.
care of during the week. So we have to make sure that we want to stay consistent.
Is your butler gonna wash my truck or?
Yeah,
Like, are we-
gotta wash my car first.
Okay, I thought we negotiated that as part of my contract.
Which car?
extension.
Is it easy for him to get the cars down from the lift?
Yes,
It's
yes,
like
it
that's
is.
why the lift is there.
That's why I bought that.
It's like that's why the team is there.
But I mean, 2 weeks back to back, we were out of town, New Orleans.
Right.
Golly,
Cali.
hey, we miss you guys. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Like, man, we've got to
gotta
get
get
a
together.
podcast in.
Hey, just before we get out of here, too, Eric almost bought a car.
Oh yeah.
So we're in California.
What?
It's at like the peak of frustration. It's it's a frustrating day trying to get some things done, and it's typical fight week. Like everything's happening to you, weights are being missed, blah blah blah, whatever's happening. Frustrated, running around. Got this stupid car that we can't get electricity in.
Oh my God, it
And-
fucking sucked. Don't understate it.
As we're cruising by, we drive by. There's a 1972 El Camino sitting on the side of the road.
El Camino.
And
Oh, dude, it's
dude,
beautiful.
Eric's like, whip around. We whipped around. Dude, we're like peering at it. And had they had any bit of like get off their ass and bring the keys out, and like we probably could have walked away with the car.
Eric would have been driving home.
And we were that was the
Yeah.
plan. That was the plan.
I'll
We were
bet.
like
Rich, we're gonna get some bud. and
we were just gonna road trip it out.
I would have rode with you guys rather than spend another minute in that electric vehicle.
Dude, it was a
sweet.
beautiful car. We almost had another story to be able to tell. But hey, again, we'll be back this weekend with another show. Another Fury going down, 8/14. Fury Amateur Series this weekend, 7/17. Make sure you get your tickets, furyfc.tv. Pick those up for us.
Y'all want to shout out anybody before we go?
Yeah, I
Wayne,
want to
any
give a
shout-outs,
shout
Wayne?
out to
Any shout outs? And I got to give a shout out to Sidgen and Mark for holding it down.
Man.
They took a lot of shit
Yeah,
off my
hey,
back while we were there.
I digress. Yeah, man. Sidgen and Mark, man.
They held it down.
The unsung heroes of a lot of what we do are the people that you don't see, that you don't know their names. You might see them on camera every now and then. Mark's trying to hang out in those camera zones a little more
Hey.
often these days. Mark
Seemed like
and
Mark was having
Sidgen
a good
handled
time on the
business.
camera.
Sierra, Christy.
Yes,
shout out to the team
yes.
behind the scenes. We couldn't do it without them. That's my
Diego
shout out.
holds it down whether he's there or not. He takes care of
Word.
shit behind
Hey, we
Brian
have
Duvall, who's vacationing in Florida right now.
Brian. Yeah.
I would dare to say that we do the most with the least amount of people, and we get it done consistently every show. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes and the controlled
They see a
chaos
finished product.
that is happening.
I love that control K.
Yeah,
That's it.
what you guys see, it's a lot of work to get it done, and without that crew that we have, it would not be possible.
And again, the commentary team, man. I love my commentary guys.
Even Wayne.
Yeah, even me. Whenever I decide the wrong winner.
So we got a good crew.
Hey, the best in the game, and if you haven't heard Wayne Leggett inside
And he's
that cage.
exclusive, so all y'all bullshit promoters don't be calling
Yeah,
my guy.
I got hit up by a promoter recently.
What?
I was going through some messages, and they were like, "Hey, are you available this day, or whatever?" No reply, no response.
Yeah.
But
It
Man,
seems like
I-
everybody's sharing Colin Cantrell. They're all sharing him.
I love Colin.
Colin's my guy.
Colin's been
Shout
around.
out to
my
Colin,
dude,
go make
man.
some money, man.
He's been around a long time, man. Like
I had
he's,
Colin for
I know,
4
a
shows.
long time,
For,
right?
I would say
long time.
I would say, Wayne is on that path of, like, right now. I still think most people probably consider Colin the voice of Texas MMA. Like he's did
know
the
about
most
that,
did the
man.
most
Fuck
shows
this
on
podcast,
TV.
man.
I
don't know
do
about that.
I do
Burmaster.
think I do think as I said, I do think Wayne is on his way to eclipsing that because
I'm
of
not trying
because
to
of
eclipse anybody or anything, man. I
Again-
love Colin Cantrell, man. We've had some good times together. Shout out to him. I'm glad to see him back in the fold, doing what he's doing, where he's doing
one
it.
of the OGs of just
For real.
Houston MMA, who really doesn't get a lot of the
Bart.
attention and love that Bart Stewart, man. Yeah.
Bart
not
was my guy
familiar.
for a few years too. But Wayne's had the longest run with us.
And the best hair.
Yeah.
Out of all three of them.
Wayne will be here till he dies.
In the suits.
Yeah,
And the suits.
I'm supposed
And you're
I'm
gonna be
supposed
up
to
there.
have
It's
Fury.
time to unleash the fury at 90 years old.
Yeah, man. But I'm not gonna jump or like.
Hey,
blow
we
out
need,
my quads or
we need to
anything,
get a
man.
suit sponsor for Wayne too. So if you guys know a company that wants to sponsor
What, you don't like my
Wayne,
suits?
Wayne
Yeah,
for
what you
some
trying to
suits,
say?
I'm
You
trying
don't-
to I'm
you
trying to
don't-
get you some more, dog.
Custom
What,
fit?
what are we
I
doing
know what
here?
you're doing.
What are we
cheers,
doing
cheers.
here?
I got you.
I got you.
How about we go to Target and get him a sports coat?
Ooh, yeah, baby. eBay. Can we go to eBay? There's some good deals on eBay.
I think
Amazon.
Marshalls is doing pretty
Amazon,
well.
yeah.
too.
Let me get those Amazon suits.
You get
that
you one of
probably
those
don't fit.
seersucker suits at Marshalls.
Yeah,
It'll be
let's
good.
go.
Seriously.
It'll be good. But hey, yeah. Shout out to our amazing team. Thank y'all for everything that you do. You do make
We're sure to have missed
A lot of
some
what we do a
names.
little easier.
Rick Sanchez, much love to you too, brother.
who? No.
Hey, this
Jay
weekend, Fury,
Shea,
amateur series.
Jeremiah, he's pretty religious. We love him too.
Get the gear.
It's pretty religious.
You got to get the Fury gear.
Yeah,
at the,
pick
the
up
booth.
your gear this weekend. Come by, pick up some amazing gear. Man, hey, thank you guys again for an awesome show. Make sure you share it. And Wayne, let's do
Yo.
it.
Hey, the time for talk is over. This has been Fury Unleashed.
And now, make some noise because the time for talk is over. It's time to unleash